Hello, and welcome back to Skies of Arcadia. I am your time captain, Evan Tognati. I am joined by some people like Space Quartermaster Ryan McGinley
Hello.
and stowaway Kyle Locke.
What happened? Did you get younger? I don't. Your
No,
voice
I
is
just
so
took
high.
I just took a lot of heroin, and I am feeling pretty good.
And then
I
got
watched
kicked
a
in the balls.
review. I finally watched a review, and that was great.
Oh, you watched? Yeah, that's great. This is JRPG, A Story of Future Perfect. We're cataloging every JRPG for future generations. It's gonna happen sooner or later, you guys. Infinite monkeys, infinite typewriters.
Yep.
Except we have one
We have
12-year-old and
One 12-year-old and his 20-something wily compatriots. And
Yeah.
let's say 60 more years.
We'll get it. Don't worry.
Well,
I don't know, that death clock has me dead in 30 years.
we went to one of those dumb, website death clocks while I was streaming Sonic 06.
God.
And
Oh, God.
based on how, based on
Based
whether or
on
not...
my height, weight, and outlook on life, I'm dead by 2043.
Yeah. And it's
Nice.
all outlook on life. If you say you're pessimistic, it shaves 40 years off your life, according to the death clock.
Well, I mean, to be fair.
In other news, I'm dying next month.
Yeah, so you're pretty much screwed then.
Yeah, no, things aren't looking good.
What is there anything on that time clock for if you're super hipster?
I don't think so.
I'm just worried about Clint.
Yeah, I mean, Clint is a pretty big hipster. You know he didn't even like The Last of Us?
He said the doors were too
He
big
said
or
the
something.
doors... He gave it a 3 out of 5.
Oh,
You know what he
my
gave a 2 out of 5? Thief. That means he thinks Thief is only slightly worse than The Last of Us.
Oh God.
God.
Make sure you head to errornotfound.org
Or
and
.com.
find Clint's articles and just hate on him as much as you can.
Yeah, do that. You can also go to aeronotfound.com, though.
Oh, that's right.
We own
that's right.
both.
They do have the .com.
So...
And aeronotfound.xxx.
No, you don't go there. Don't go there. You're gonna see some stuff you don't want to see, or maybe
Wait, have you
wanna
gone
see.
there?
No, I haven't
Okay.
gone there.
Well, I'm about to right now.
I don't think it exists. Okay,
Well, then we should buy it.
so that would actually be pretty funny. Fina is in a cave painting. Someone who looks like Fina.
Yep.
Sealed the forest after the rains of destruction washed away the lands. The unsleeping giant Grendel, and upon his sealing the green crystal was kept within these walls. This is written in the holy language of the Silver Temple. Okay.
Igbo.
Igbo. God damn it, let's not remind everyone.
The only person that feels bad about being reminded that is me, probably.
That's-
Okay. Anyway.
Rains of destruction nearly destroyed the green civilization. Got it. But even after the rains fell, Grendel still terrorized the lands for many generations to follow. Sylvites came here
Grendel.
to contain him.
Isn't that the Wicked Witch of the West?
Yes.
Totally.
Zelda. Something. Ganondorf.
Yeah.
Ganondorf on Zelda's body. That's what that is. That's Ganondorf's head on Zelda's body.
I mean, it does have Ganon's nose.
That's my
from
fetish.
From Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, I know.
That's definitely
I'm
his
sorry.
nose.
That's just indisputably what that is. I'm not... There's no way you can convince me that that's not just Ganondorf's head on Zelda's body. Maybe it's Drachma's head on Zelda's body, now that I think of it.
Oh my god.
Or
So-
Athena's body.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
That's how this
I
game
don't,
ends.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've actually described fully what happened or not with the Rains of Destruction. I
Okay.
forget if at this point they've actually described the entire event or not.
Huh.
No, they haven't. That's right, because you're going to discover more about it as it goes on.
Well, it
That's
seems
right.
like they
Okay.
fucked some shit up.
The Rains of Destruction. Yeah, basically, on each moon, over each civilization basically rained hell on the civilizations. Basically, moon rocks and stuff like that just came crashing down like asteroids and just destroyed the entire world.
I see. I'm curious who's there.
So it's not
Me
like
too.
the Reigns of Castamere.
Guys, who's there?
Knock knock.
Knock, knock.
Turducken.
Oh, jeez. Jesus!
Draka was my kind of guy.
You
Drachma.
missed him.
Drachma.
I love Vice. He's just gonna slide down this whole thing like Sonic style.
Oh, Vice.
Vice was the shoot
Vice.
my arm at somebody first, ask questions later.
Vice is fucking
Exactly.
on top of it.
You know,
Now.
Drachma's all about power.
Now let's threaten to kill him like we
Yeah.
do
Vice is
everybody
chilling.
that we catch.
Exactly.
I just want you to see something interesting before you die.
That's still my favorite moment of this game.
Or, no.
Wait it. You at the end of this, Evan?
Yeah?
You should just make a montage of like the best moments from this game.
Oh,
It should just be that scene.
It's just that scene over and over again. Sometimes like in slow motion.
Drachma's
sometimes-
just pointing his arm at the poor kid.
I mean, if I remember to do that, I will.
But you won't. So. It's-
Oh, we'll see. You'd be surprised my commitment to dumb shit. By the way, I told Matthew Maluski the other day about my stand-up routine with the name game, and
God.
he said he'd do it. So, we have to hold him to that.
Wait, he said he would perform that?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Alright. Okay, so what the fuck? Why have you been sending me on this hunt? You assholes!
Yeah. Well, it's well.
They just
have-
really wanted to eat, Rick. I'm gonna
They
call that bird Rick.
they
from
have
now
their
on.
own agenda.
Yeah,
Remember
I can
how the
tell.
Valians are now in this area and they're like destroying the forest and stuff with the loco and everything?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is like a tree hugger kind of symbolism game.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah,
Go Drock.
Drachma, that's a little intense. Maybe,
This is just
Nah.
like when they threatened that kid.
well, it's a little
Well,
more
that's
excusable.
like that's his thing.
Yeah.
like
Enhanced
how he's just-
interrogation
He's
techniques.
pointing at his ass, too.
Yeah, that's what I was about to point out. Yeah. He's not aiming at his head at all. How old are you? Is it...
I'm just trying to think.
turn your head
There are a
off.
lot of jokes you could make about this.
Yes, I know.
I'm trying to rifle through them and see if there's one I deem worthy of saying. I don't
Alright.
think there is.
I'll say the ones that aren't worthy.
What? Drachma, what are you doing to him? Oh my
Put your arm
god!
back.
Oh my god! How does that even work? Oh,
Oh, and now it's rotating. Oh,
Fade
oh
out.
no!
fade out. Drachma's gonna be smoking in bed.
And then just oops.
Sapa, now that you're free, the Valians are busy
Yeah.
looking for Vice. Uh-oh.
Yep.
That doesn't seem good.
Yeah,
Guys,
they're gonna summon Grendel to try and get the Valians out of here.
I don't... So they basically used me as bait.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming this guy is one of the Gigas.
Grendel is one of the Gigas. Yep.
Okay.
Get ready for another.
What are there,
battle.
6 gigas?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay. Oh god.
Forgot about this guy's horns.
This powerful green light. Also that horny priest guy. They're all here.
They're all horny. Just in different ways.
Just look at that hat.
I see it. I see it. I
Yeah.
get the wordplay. Don't worry. It's not lost on me.
All right. Well, I want to be clear.
I'm 12, but I'm not stupid. God damn it.
You're just inexperienced.
I'm just... I'm just inexperienced.
Oh boy.
Is that right?
Earthquake.
Mainly as a 12-year-old, I don't understand what sexual arousal is.
It's all right.
That's
One
the
day
big thing.
you'll get it.
Okay.
That light shouldn't be a big deal.
I really
No,
like
if you-
this. I really like this shot of all of them. Just sort of slowly bouncing up and down.
There's
I feel like there should be music playing here.
Yeah, they're on like one of those big giant trampolines at carnivals.
A news anchor's freaking out somewhere about an earthquake.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Someone's summoning Grendel! Oh, no.
Evan, did you get any of that up your way? Down your way? I don't know where you live in relation to Los Angeles.
I live, probably like 400 to 500 miles from Los Angeles, and no, we did not.
Okay.
Hey, XSplit, how's it going?
Hey, whoa! God damn it! I'm sorry, hang on. There's just
There.
this thing, sometimes it...
I might be
God,
actually making a trip out to California in the summer.
will you be?
Possibly. A friend of mine's actually moving out there.
Where in
So-
California?
What was it specifically? It's close to LA.
Okay. Doesn't sound like my neck of the woods.
Let's see here.
That's what I mean. Ryan, you should come to California so we can record some JRPG without having to do this.
Culver City.
New vice captain.
The old one died.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Here's the new one.
No, yeah, sure, sometime.
Yeah, that should
Eventually.
you should piece that together.
We need to go to a Harmontown, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not in Los Angeles, you know.
I mean, we'll drive. Fuck
It's
it,
not
right?
as if California is a very long state. I know you live in Delaware, so the idea of driving to a new state is trivial. But it's at least like 4 hours in any direction to get out of California. Sometimes
That's
like
fine.
8,
We can
8 to
drive a
10.
couple hours to get to Harmontown.
Okay. If you want to drive 8 hours for Harmontown.
Would it be 8 hours?
Yes, roughly. 6 to 8 hours.
There and back,
that-
or just one way?
One way.
I mean, that would be closer than me driving from here, so.
You raise a good point.
I always do.
Driving to LA from a place closer than Delaware is faster than driving from Delaware. Driving... I feel like driving anywhere from Delaware probably takes more emotional mileage.
Yeah.
Because you're in Delaware. That went bad for that ship.
Alfonso was on that, wasn't he?
I think.
Is he dead?
I have a feeling he's not dead.
I think he is.
I have a feeling he's not.
Next time we see him, there's going to be new vice captain.
Yes.
They really blew a hole in that guy's chest, though.
We cannot get past the Gigas.
Yep. So they are going to retreat. So it did work.
Yeah. Jesus. So there's the thing about not wanting to die near the poors, Alfonso.
Alfonso wants to die on the bosom of a lovely lady.
That's still near some poors.
Depending on the lady.
His final words were, "You just got stuffed."
Ugh.
Oh man.
Then he looks up and it's a turkey.
Died like Pierce on Community from masturbating too much. Everyone, back to the little Jack. We have to stop
We
that.
still haven't been able to get our own ship yet.
Okay, let's
Yeah, we're still not there. We're
Let's-
still a ways away from
let's
that.
save. Everything's bouncing a little too much.
I think we should just stand on that cliff and keep looking at the green gigas.
I mean, I could do that
See if it does anything. See if like it actually ends the game.
if it has like an idle animation. It's gonna wag its finger.
That reminds me. I need to go back and load up the Mass Effect DLC. I think it was the Mass Effect 2 DLC.
Which one?
The last one that came out. I forget what it was called.
What? From Mass Effect 2?
Yeah.
Which one?
The one where you have to stop the Reaper invasion, but it ends with like.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that one's good. Lair of the Shadow Broker, right?
No,
Is
that's
that
not
Lair?
the Shadow Broker.
I don't think. No, that's not Lair of the Shadow Broker.
Okay. Well, that's the one. You go on a ship in that one. That was the only dot I connected. Was you go on it. The last part of that is on a ship, and I was like Reapers, ships, sure.
I'm gonna look it up now, cause there is a timer that is counting down that you see on a bunch of screens throughout the level, and it's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I know.
On
I know
the
which one you're
timer.
talking about.
And I've always wanted to just sit there and see what happens when the timer runs down to 0.
Is that Arrival?
Yeah.
Arrival,
that's it,
yep.
Okay.
Arrival.
That's the
is
one
it.
that bridges it between 2 and 3,
2
right?
and 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah, that's the one where like you get lured into seeing this Reaper technology, and then it ends up
Yeah.
being a trap.
I like Mass Effect.
Yeah,
I love
it's,
Mass Effect.
I'd
really good
probably
series.
play a new Mass Effect, I guess. If they made one. I don't know.
Would you
if
play
there's-
a Mass Effect?
Evan, it's your
MMO?
favorite character.
I would not play a Mass Effect MMO because MMOs are universally shitty.
Yeah.
But I would play a new Mass Effect. Yeah, I feel like it's been a while. Like, I know
If-
Mass Effect 3 was only 2012, but it feels like it's been longer.
Right. If you
And I
if
feel like
there-
Mass Effect's such like an expansive universe that if you make a separate story away from Shepard, it's while it
maybe-
could still be very similar gameplay wise and everything, just the fact that the story would be different.
Hey, hang on. I'm sorry, but right now this looks hilarious at like 2 frames a second.
Yeah,
It's like he's.
I'm so glad.
Oh man, that's too funny. It's just like.
But yeah, I feel like given another like story within that expansive universe, it would still feel different, even if
Yeah.
like the gameplay was the same.
Yeah, maybe ditch Shepard for now.
I feel like
So-
that's the only thing you can do.
Yeah. Well,
If,
I mean, the true ending of Mass Effect 3 had Shepard, like...
No, I know, but I feel like no matter what, whatever direction they go, I feel like we're not going to see Shepard.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
want to see Shepard.
Yeah, that would be good.
I mean,
did-
it would be kind of cool that like if at some point you did, and it's like, you know, obviously your version of Shepard because it has your save file.
Yeah.
That's kind of a cool idea, but at the same time, no, I don't want to see him.
I'd like it... I'll tell you what. I became so connected to my Shepard. My Shepard was great.
But you want to kill your Shepard in the new Mass Effect.
I would like it if they took my save file to sort of read, like, the decisions I made as Shepard and sort of the tone of her character. And, like, Shepard was involved, but I didn't play as her. So, like, Shepard is making decisions in the
Oh,
game
okay.
that I'm not making that
It's
are just
based on
based
decisions
on
you've
my...
made.
Yeah, my character.
So it kind of would be your personality making. the
Yeah, it
decisions.
would be the personality I designed for Shepard, but as an
That's a
NPC.
cool idea.
That would
I
be
also
great.
feel like it would be hard to do that though with the fact that any new Mass Effect would probably be exclusive to next generation. While
Well, yeah, obviously it would be hard. I'm
like
not
you
I'm
would
sure
have to
that, like-
upload it to some Mass
Yeah, as I
Effect
say, especially
specific
with
cloud.
like,
You
yeah, I
could
would say
just-
with the
yeah.
cloud and stuff like that. You know, I'm sure they could figure something out with the 360
you
where
could
you
do
could
that,
do
or
that.
they could even just do it like Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3, where you can be like, okay, you can either just create a personality for my Shepard, or I can just give me a list of all the choices, and I'll tell you what I would have done.
Right.
Yeah.
And then,
But I feel like the devil is in the details with some of those Mass Effect games. Like
Agreed. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
So if there was another Mass Effect game, would you? Is there a particular?
I mean, there is, to be clear, it's confirmed there is a new Mass Effect game. in the
Right,
works,
right.
so-
This is just kind
Speculation,
of for fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you want a Mass Effect game where you can choose like which race that you play as, or would you have a particular taste towards one or another, or like a particular type of story?
I don't
or-
know. I think that just sort of depends on the story they're telling. Like, I
Right.
think having you be sort of a human commander makes sense for the Mass Effect trilogy. Sort of when that game becomes in Mass Effect 3, just you sort of negotiating all of the different races and how fucking
Yeah.
angry they are at each other.
Uh-huh.
Like, having you as sort of the boring Earth mediator. I think works pretty well.
I would like to play I would like to play a story that's like a Turian based story.
Yeah, I'm happy to play whatever they throw at me, really.
I just think, one of the things that I didn't like about the ending of Mass Effect 3, which I understand why they did it, because they wanted to keep it so open to sequels.
So, well, real quickly though, like what I don't know what's everybody here their universal view on the ending of Mass Effect 3 since it was so.
I loved the ending of Mass Effect 3 when it came out.
Okay.
Sort of in response to the backlash, and I still think the backlash was pretty stupid. In the time since the ending, I've grown less fond of it, though I still like it.
It kind of brought you down.
Yeah, well, there are things I like about it, and there are things I don't like about it, I think, in retrospect.
Alright.
But,
That's fair.
the thing is, there are very few ambitious, wide-ranging science fiction universes with a definitive end that I think that are good. Like,
Right.
I think
it's tough to do that.
in a way, I think when you make a universe like that people care about enough, there's a certain degree to which you're just writing your own obituary for whenever you end it, because it's not going to be good in comparison to the stuff that came before.
Yeah, that and just obviously you can never appeal to everybody.
Yeah, and weirdly, the only science fiction ending I can think of being like actually really satisfied with wasn't even an ending. It was the last episode of Firefly.
Yeah.
Well,
how do you feel about Serenity?
I like Serenity. I don't know that it's. I sort of view it as its own thing. Maybe not a great ending to that universe.
Yeah.
See, I saw Serenity on its own without any previous knowledge.
That's actually how I saw it first too. I saw it in theaters.
And I wasn't a fan.
Yeah. Have you watched Firefly since?
Nope.
You should watch it.
It's time.
It's just, I mean, Serenity is just not. It's not a good idea to see Serenity not knowing
you need
anything
that
about
context.
Firefly, because it sort of tries to reintroduce everyone and everything, but it just doesn't work unless you know them from the.
There was a Firefly marathon on Sci-Fi the other day that I was watching.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that show's still real good.
It is.
Both my parents ended up sitting down and watching it. Like, I started watching it on episode 3. So I had to explain it. My dad got hooked when Jamestown came on.
It's a good episode.
It's a really good episode. But yeah, going back to your question, Kyle, I am pretty much in the same position as Evan on. I never watched the redone, like the rehashed ending that they released.
Okay.
Yeah, I never watched that. I felt like that was a weird case for me because I'm not a fan of the idea of a writer releasing a modified ending because people didn't like the original.
Right.
If it's their prerogative, if they look at it and say like, I fucked up, I want to change it, that's fine. But if it's just like, we're upset,
right.
In the same way.
That I was really like. I mean, I understand why they did it, and being a video game developer seems like it can be such a terrible job at sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Like what was it? I think it was Call of Duty. There was a story about a guy. One of the developers changed the sniper rifle damage by 0.25% or something like that.
Death threats all day, right? And I think that's
that kind of that part of the gaming community is just terrible.
And that's
it's also the vocal minority, though, which is also what got the Mass Effect ending changed, which I think is the worst part of it. Is that just because these loud idiots are loud enough.
Yep.
Like, if you look at the sales of Mass Effect 3, I'm sure that the people that voted on these polls and signed these petitions are nowhere near even 10% of the people that played the game.
Right.
God damn it! I don't have enough for the harpoon cannon. Fuck.
But I did play through the new ending just because I wanted to see what it was. And I mean, it does give more context. But it's watching it. I was thinking, because a lot of people were saying, "Well, now I'm satisfied with the ending."
Right.
A lot of people were saying it that way, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, "This really doesn't say too much more. There's not a whole lot more to this thing."
And there were some complaints people had about the ending that, like I get a lot of the complaints, and I don't.
I understand where they were going, or where they're getting at. Like,
yeah.
The people, they're basically upset that their choices didn't have a whole lot of weight in the last 5 minutes of the game.
Right, but the whole rest of the game is
that.
It is the ending,
and
right?
That is my only complaint about the ending, is like I would have liked to see, because in my playthrough the Krogans, they got the cure and everything, so I would have, just like after the ending, I would have liked to see like years down the road what the Krogan race was like. Give me that little glimpse. But I get like why they didn't do that, because they were probably writing this sequel and didn't know what they wanted to do with it yet.
I also feel like some of the best storytelling is that which you don't see. Sometimes leaving it to the imagination of the person who is, experiencing it is one of the best things you can do. And I think a lot of people have kind of forgotten about that. You have an imagination and you should use it.
It was just I just
instead of having everything spoon-fed to you,
No, but I feel like it would be different saying like, okay, I made this choice, I want to see how it plays out. I feel like that's different than.
Right. No, that's a fair thing to say. No,
and like I said, like obviously there might be this cloud-based game where, because Clint Prentice, he didn't save the Krogans, he didn't let the cure go
such
through.
An asshole.
Yeah,
he also said he wanted to play through as an evil character first, just to see what it was like. But he ended up liking that so much that he just stuck with it and never went back.
Yeah.
So maybe in the next Mass Effect game, Clint will play it, and there will be no Krogans, and I'll play it, and there will be a good amount of them.
Right.
I will say, after Clint told me about his playthrough of playing purely evil, I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this a shot. And it is one of the hardest things I have ever put myself through.
Yeah. I always
I was like just crying because I was such a terrible person.
When it comes to stuff like that, the reason I liked my Shepherd so much was I like going into those sorts of games if they have a really rigid morality system. I find it incredibly boring to be like, I'm going to make every Paragon decision, or I'm going to make every Renegade decision.
My playthrough was like, the first time I played through it, I just played through it as me. What would I do? Then my second playthrough was like purely Paragon. And then after going through everything and talking to Clint, I decided to go back and play purely Renegade to see what it was like.
Yeah.
So I got basically just all the middle ground and then the two extremes.
Right. So for me, it's always like I like shape because I'm a Dungeons and Dragons player, right? So the idea of shaping a character who has a specific morality that I, as the player, have to reason with and be like, that's another good thing. It's sort of like this weird writing exercise too. Like if you're going to write a character in something, try playing Mass Effect and thinking, this character has a morality that doesn't align perfectly with these systems, and these aren't the choices I would make, but they're the choices the character would make.
Like, you build your own kind of past that maybe Shepard has a problem with.
Yeah, so I determine, like, okay, my character has a problem with authority, but she will be very kind to her friends and the people she's loyal to, or something. But, like, that's a pretty cool idea, actually. I like that. Like, just making those sorts of concessions and then seeing what happens is the way I think it's most fun to play that sort of game.
That is a cool way of playing it.
Yeah.
I never thought about something like that. That's cool.
It's neat, I find.
Okay. That sounds like it would be a lot of fun.
I'm worried that I'm gonna die.
Oh man, you can't die here. Because
why can't I?
Because this isn't the last ship battle.
Yeah, I know. I'm having a slightly rough go of it. What do you want from me?
Be better at games.
I'm plenty good at I beat Dark Souls 9 times. God damn it. I don't think I'm gonna die.
I think you got this. You
Yeah,
got this.
yeah, I got it, man.
Oh, Evan or Brian. What happened? Is he restarting his computer? Probably.
I don't know. Don't ask. Just don't don't give him the attention he doesn't deserve.
It's exactly what I'm doing. Yep.
He says he's gonna get a new computer soon, but he needs to, because he said periodically his computer just like after 2 or 3 hours will just sometimes overheat and shut off. And I'm like, that's not good for. I think I'm dead.
That's definitely not good.
Yeah, I'm dead.
All right. Well, we'll try it again.
I never give
we
up.
We might have to record a couple more episodes at this rate.
Maybe.
I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
Running on 3 hours of sleep, but damn it, I will stay awake for Skies of Arcadia. That's dedication to this game.
During my during the last Extra Life.
Oh yeah. 25 hours.
25 hours. I got 2 hours of sleep the night before.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes for me.
Because I'm so paranoid about getting enough sleep.
Exactly.
I just think about that until it's like 5 in the morning. I'm like,
and I had to travel out to Cleveland on the other side of Ohio, and so I had to like pack up my computer and all my equipment and stuff like that. Go out to Cleveland, unpack all my computer stuff, set everything up, and then it's the meticulous. Okay, do I have everything?
Mm-hmm.
And do I have it all set up correctly?
Yeah.
So I spend, up until 3 or 4 a.m. just trying to figure that out when we start at 8.
Yeah.
This is like, great.
I remember for me, I fell asleep at like 10 and I woke up at midnight, and I spent like 5 hours trying to get back to sleep just doing stuff, and then I was like, well, I need to go to Safeway to get ice for my cooler. I was like, well, okay, and so at 5 in the morning I got up and I drove to a Safeway and bought like a 2-pound bag of ice and carried it home and set up my cooler, and it was fun. I want to do that again, but
it's a lot of fun. We're gonna be doing probably purely PCs this year, which I think will be pretty awesome. So we're gonna have a huge just PC setup with all of our towers and stuff.
That sounds. I would like to try to make it out in person to one of those because doing it isolated in my room makes it a little harder. And
it's also a lot harder to stay awake because you don't have people to interact with.
Exactly. So and also like negotiating the Skype stuff and everybody's schedules. And Ryan was supposed to be there for all of it, and he was there for like a third of it. And
right.
Some dead air. Like being in a room with people and stuff. It sounds like it would be a lot more enjoyable.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and it was also awesome because I got my friend Will to play through Slender the Arrival, and dude got so scared.
I wanna do some more of that because I remember that one time I played SCP and it didn't do anything for me.
We gotta get Clint. Oh, there's a new SCP-087B game. I've been trying to get Clint to play it.
You should talk Clint into doing Terror Report weekly again.
I would love to.
You should start writing him about that.
Yeah.
Because I can't guarantee I could make it week to week since I'm doing this now, but
right.
At least if the two of you can.
Yeah, I would make time for that.
Yeah, I definitely love to have Terror Reports going up on the site. So
yeah,
if you're watching, Clint, and I know you're not.
Yeah, Clint wouldn't watch this.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't. All right.
Though he's missing out on a great game. So
right. That's what I keep saying to him.
Best
I keep saying,
made.
Clint, why aren't you watching Skies of Arcadia? Then he normally just says, fuck you, and leaves.
Well, you know what? I'm going to add in on the mix then.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, have you left me a Facebook thing in our secret group about something. Have you made the decision as to whether or not that's going to be involved with this channel? Is that an announcement we can make, or?
I see. Okay.
Okay.
See, here's the problem.
Here's the problem.
Like, I feel like this channel wouldn't necessarily mesh well with my multi, like with the face cam thing that I do.
Okay.
Well, my channel.
That's
and I'm doing that for this too.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Uh.
There's a very particular reason for it, and
Oh, is it the reason you were
off camera? We'll talk about it, but
okay? Is it
Yeah.
the same reason as you pitched?
I think
the
I pitched
beginning?
it to you before. I think.
Okay, because
So-
when you first mentioned doing this, there was a conceit to it.
Okay. Yeah, I think I
but-
do remember mentioning it to you at some
Okay.
point. So
Okay. Well, we'll negotiate.
yeah, and that particular thing, that's what I was saying. The first motion towards that happening is on its way. Is what I
Great.
should.
Great.
Yeah.
Either way, we'll see what happens. I'd like to try to make it work for this channel. I don't know if that'll wind up happening, just because
Mhm.
I think the people would like it. I think is the main
Right.
reason. Because a lot of people I know are very much into the game you'll be playing. So
Yeah.
we'll
Hey, we'll
see.
I noticed we have more subscribers now.
We do. We have a couple more.
That's pretty awesome to see.
Yeah, I'm glad there's some upward mobility. You know, I'd like to get to 100. I feel like I'd feel good at 100. I feel like I
Right.
wouldn't need more if we got to 100. Because I'm
Right.
not ambitious. God, they just
See
cut
here.
me down again. Why? This doesn't feel like it should be as hard as it's...
Yeah,
It's
it's
given Alright.
not going well for you.
Well,
Why can't I get Ryan back?
guess what?
We end the end of the episode.
We are at the end of the episode.
Okay.
So, next episode we'll come back to this. We will give it another go. I'll try to focus a little bit more on actually getting that harpoon cannon off when I have the chance. Until then, Ryan is in here, but thanks for joining me, Kyle.
Yep, no problem.
Goodbye.
Hate you so much.
I saw it pop up, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna say something.
I hate you so much.
It was great.
The woman was a dream I had, though rather hard to keep. For when my eyes were watching hers, they closed, and I was still asleep. For when my hand was holding hers, she whispered words and I awoke. And faintly bouncing round the room, the echo of whomever spoke. I awoke, and faintly bouncing round the room, the echo of whomever spoke. The place I sought was far beneath the surface of the sea. My sight was poor, but I was sure the sirens sang their song for me. They dance above me as I sing. I see them through a crystal haze, and hear them bouncing round the room, the never-ending choral maze. The crystal haze, and hear them bouncing round the room,